I just want an excuse to play Lord of All. But to get there, we've talked with some of your friends. We talked with Louie Giglio. I happen to know people that were part of the church staff at First Baptist Atlanta when he was growing up in the youth group.
Awesome.
So we've talked about the times when he and young Andy Stanley slipped out of church to go down and grab a
varsity.
But he always got away with it because they were playing the church service.
Yeah, they had.
And he could answer the question, "What did you learn from the service today?"
Amazing.
So we've talked with him about those types of questions. We've talked with Tomlin about early days as touring Tomlin.
Yes.
He's got some great stories. So before we play Lord of All, let's talk about early Crowder. We already know about your worst crowd surfing moment ever.
That is not the worst, y'all. Legit, that is the best.
Tell me a story early on in the life of David Crowder Band or, whatever it was, that when you tell this story, people think, how are you still doing this today?
There's too many of those, man. For real. First of all, when you said the Tomlin deal, one of my favorite Tomlin stories about him early on is when he's playing at this church, and it's so loud. He's like, it's not really loud. It's like it's a church that doesn't even have a sound system hardly. But one of the deacons comes up to him and goes, "You need to be a good steward of the human ear."
We have heard that story.
It's like the best.
It is the best story. He's told us that.
I love it. That dude is awesome.
And then I think it was that same church where no one showed up. They kept saying they were going to show up, and then it was in Alabama near Talladega, and it was the school of the blind. Yes,
Deaf and blind.
Yeah, and I'm trying.
Right. There were 6 angry youth members.
What is the girl's name? I grew up in
Helen
Alabama.
Keller.
Helen Keller. It was Helen Keller.
That was his audience that night.
Yes, that was his audience.
The youth guy said he built him up like there was going to be this huge crowd, and then nobody showed up.
Yeah.
Oh my!
And he said, "Well, there is a fair in town tonight. Might be that nobody actually comes." And then he went and he got like 4 or 5 kids from the youth group that sat on the back row, just ticked off that they had to be there.
Yeah.
And then a bus rolls in from the Helen Keller School. He said, "That's my audience."
That story just kept getting better and better and better and better.
Oh my word!
So what's your version of that?
I've had a great career comparatively. One of my favorite moments, though, we were at the Creation Festival. Yeah. I mean, it's huge. And at the time, there was like, I don't know, 60,000 people in this deal, and we had just come across the John Mark McMillan "How He Loves" song, and we were going to do it the Sunday morning after this Creation deal. I'd already told the band we're doing this Sunday. I just heard it on a plane flight. I'm like, well, let's try it out at Creation Festival before we do it at church, as if that would be less stressful.
Right.
So it's our first time to do it ever. Now I'm playing a keyboard on this song, and I'm using the sounds from a laptop. So the laptop is supplying the sounds for this MIDI controller, and my laptop is janky. It's held together by tape and whatnot. And there's a particular thing that will happen if the cable comes out of the little headphone jack, it drops what is known as the bit rate of the sound card. And so this puts the sound that you're playing in no key at all. It's not at 440 tuning at all. And this has happened, and I don't know it's happened, but someone has unplugged the little headphone jack, and it's now not in the key that I'm wanting to play in. I'm wanting to play in the key of C. It's not in the key of C. It's in no key, and in fact, the key that it's in is about I'd say like a fifth down from where I'm supposed to be playing. So it was way. So I hit the first chord, and I can immediately tell things are not right. And so I look at the band like startled, like, this isn't going to go our way. And so I start to sing, and I'm like, he is jealous for me, loves like a hurricane. And the whole time I'm looking at the band like, what do I do? Like, I can't stop this. I keep singing. So the bass player comes in, and it's like in no key, and he hits one note, bang, and it's like, nope. And he looks at me like, mm-mm. So the only person that can play with me is a violinist because he has no frets on it. So I hear him going, like trying to find where I am, to where he finally finds, one string that he can get something out on. Meanwhile, bass player is like tuning the one string of his, like bang 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 bang. While I'm still like, love's like a hurricane. 60,000 people like, I don't know. Yeah.
Lord.
It was awful. Yeah. But anyway, still have a job, so it's great. Yeah. Still here. Still doing
today.
it. Yeah.
And now we
still
can
using
play...
other people's stuff.
Now we can play Lord of All.
Yeah.
There you go.